I thought, why not actually sit down and you guys can get to know me a little bit more, as well as obviously normally there is guests, but for now, it's just me. Who are your true friends in the industry? I think for me, like, it is definitely hard to know who's real and who's kind of just in it for the collabs and things like that. But I definitely would say, like, Tallulah's one of my really, really good friends. Like, I absolutely love that girl. Naya as well, like, I've been friends with her for years. Do you have a boyfriend? So, no, I'm actually currently single. Hey guys, welcome back to another season of Charlize's Private Story. This new series is going to be so good because I'm so excited to share even more about my world as I keep you guys up to date with everything that's going on in my life and spill even more tea. If you're new here, I'm a content creator with a passion for all things beauty and fashion, and I love to overshare and tell you guys a bit too much, so on this podcast you can expect things about my relationships, friendships, and even more. And every week I'm joined by other influencers, celebrities, my own family members and friends to talk all about the latest gossip, their picnics, and their very own private stories. And I want you guys to keep getting involved just like you did last season, so please make sure to keep sending in your latest stories, questions, and dilemmas for us to work through in this judgment-free zone. So welcome back to my private story. Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of Charlize's Private Story with me and only me this episode. So I wanted to do like a solo ep for so long now, and I finally got enough things to talk about in my life. No, I'm joking. I do have quite a lot to talk about, but I thought, why not actually sit down and you guys can get to know me a little bit more, as well as obviously normally there is guests, but for now, it's just me. So basically, I've got a few questions that you guys always ask, and I picked out the ones that I think are mainly best for me to answer, and we're just going to go through and you'll learn a bit more about me. So, starting off, what made you decide to start doing social media? So, I started doing social media when I was 12, but I wanted to do it from the age of like 9. So I used to watch a lot of YouTubers, Saffron Barker being one of them. There's a few other guys that I really liked, and basically growing up I was always like, I really want to dance. So that was like my main goal. I was like, okay, well maybe I'll just do a bit of TikTok, but I do want to do dance. So my goal was always to go into dance college and then hopefully be like a professional dancer. But it all took a turn, and I ended up gaining quite a lot of a following on social media and kind of lost love for dance growing up, just because of like situations in lockdown and things like that. It just kind of made me lose the love that I had for it. So basically, yeah, I ended up just starting social media at a young age. I don't really know why I started. I think it was just seeing other people do it, and I have got to credit my sisters because they literally helped me out so much, and they literally was the reason I wanted to do it because I saw them trying it and I was like, well, why can't I try it? And we all still do it, which is good. So someone said, do you have any tips for people looking to grow their following? I think definitely just be authentic to yourself. Like the amount of times I've seen people kind of like try to be someone they're not or copy another influencer. Like if you're not yourself, then no one's going to want to listen to you because there's 12 other people that are just like who you're trying to be. And I've always said like, just stay consistent. Like you can't give up on it. It's like anything else in life. Like it takes time. And I think people get very impatient and they're like, oh, my video did really well one week and then the next week I got no followers. It does take time, and you've got to kind of remember that like everyone is doing it. There's such a large variety of people that get on the For You page a day. Like you have got to take it day by day and hopefully you will grow. But I mean, for me, like to stay consistent was always the main thing. And also just like creating ideas, but also copying trends. Like it doesn't always have to be your own ideas all the time. Like I used to just take my own ideas all the time. Someone said, what are the best and worst parts about social media? I think for me, growing up on it, it's been quite hard because I struggle a lot with like knowing when to stop exposing myself. And like I just tell you guys so much, and sometimes I think obviously people think they know you when they don't, and also people just in my area or people like out and about might think like, oh, she's this, she's that. But obviously they don't actually know me. They just know me through social media. So it can be really difficult to let people always have opinions on every single thing I do and not voice like the actual truth. And I think that can be quite difficult. Things that I love about it, there's so many things that I love about doing it. It's literally like my dream job. It's such an easy and fun job. And I have so much fun just literally being able to create content every single day and like work with companies that I dreamed of working with. And also just like working with brands that I truly like love. But I would definitely say like one of the main things that I love as well is just like being able to make so many new friends from doing social media. Obviously, like you guys know, like Tallulah, Naya, Grace, there's so many people, the twins, like there's so many people that I've made such good friendships with that I'll cherish forever. And that's only because of what we do. Like every time I see like an upcoming influencer, or not even like they have to be big, like I don't care about your following, but like maybe I'll just see a girl on TikTok and, you know, like she's come on my For You page and I think she's cool. Like I'll literally just follow her and then like text them and be like, hi. And then normally we meet up eventually. Like with Tallulah, I saw her from like the beginning and we were texting for a while. And then I was like, hi, do you want to come to my event? And then she comes. So I think really for me, it's just like, I love what I do, but obviously it can be hard. And like seeing comments about you that sometimes it's things that you physically can't change, like the past, or it could be like, I don't know how you look. It can be really, really difficult to like take it in. But I think the thing that I've learned is to just have a bit more of a backbone and like not listen to everyone's opinions, because the only people that actually truly know you are the people that you let know you. And they're the ones that should have the opinions, no one else. So that's my opinion. Someone asked, who are your true friends in the industry? I think for me, like, it is definitely hard to know who's real and who's kind of just in it for the collabs and things like that. But I definitely would say, like, Tallulah's one of my really, really good friends. Like, I absolutely love that girl. Naya as well. Like, I've been friends with her for years. You know, Grace, Kaylin, the Sienna, Kira, Tiana. There's so many people that like I've made really, really good friendships with, but I love all of them. So I can't really say who's truest, but they're definitely ones that I think are like true friends to me. I love them all. Someone said, what job would you do if you weren't an influencer? So like I said, I really, really wanted to dance. That was like my goal. I used to do a lot of auditions for acting roles and dancing and Netflix and things like that. But unfortunately, it just kind of didn't work out in the end. I did literally love it, and I lost so much love for it through lockdown, not being able to actually do the classes anymore. But I do think maybe if I wasn't to have done that, I probably would have went into something similar to what I'm doing now, but like behind the scenes, like maybe working for an agency or working for a company that like sell clothes and things like that. Like I've always wanted to kind of be in the fashion social media industry. I didn't really have a passion for anything like economics. So why and how did you start your podcast? So this all came about, I think it was like a year ago. Yeah, it would have been about a year ago. I obviously couldn't really do it through school because I didn't have like the time through the weeks and things like that. So it was always kind of like, I'll wait till I finish school, and then the things that I wanted to do, I could start doing, like my book, my podcast, all of that stuff. But for me, I kind of wanted like a space for like younger teens, you know, like adults as well, but mainly like for my audience to be able to come, listen, get a little bit more advice, learn a bit more about people every single week, and just like have like a comfort podcast. Because I always said there's a lot of podcasts out there, but there's not many that are like my age group, like people a little bit younger. But literally thought of the idea, pitched it to an old manager. They did nothing about it. And I ended up moving managements, and I went to HLD, who I'm with now. And I've got Ruby and Cherish as my managers, and they're literally like the best. They're so good at what they do. And they literally got me back in meetings with the production team that I'm with now. And then, yeah, we literally went from there, started the podcast. And I mean, all my guests have been amazing. But the next question was, who is my favourite? And I feel really rude because I actually don't know. Like one of my favourite eps, and it will be out by now, one of my favourite episodes was Max Beleg Day, because we really like got talking, like we had a really, really good chat. So I'd say Max was a good one. I also really enjoyed Casey and Grace. I know there was individuals, but them two episodes was really good, as well as Tallulah. But a favourite, I mean, the one that I had the most laughs on was my mum. We literally couldn't stop laughing. So I'd probably say, like, if I'd say anyone, the most interesting one that I've had so far has definitely had to be Max, because we just had so much to talk about. But yeah, no, like, I feel bad, but that's really one of my favourites. Who is your dream podcast guest? Smith Rowe, the footballer. No, I'm joking. I love him, but I don't think he'd ever come on this podcast. It's a little bit too pink for him. But the one that I would really, really like and I love the most is probably either Molly May or Alex L. I literally love them. And I'm a proud Molly May and Alex L kind of girl. I love them so much. And Alex L is like my favourite. I literally love her. So I have to say Alex L. Maybe even like a women's footballer. I really like Russo. I really like Williamson. So I'd probably say like one of them. But also, like obviously Taylor Swift, but like that would never happen. But yeah, I would have to say that that is just like my dream guest ever, Taylor Swift. But obviously that's probably never gonna happen. I'd love Tate McRae though, or Olivia Rodrigo, and they're probably never gonna happen either. But they're ones that I love, and also anyone from the Little Mix. Like I'd love, love, love Perry because I met her not too long ago, and she's literally amazing. I love her so much, and if I could have her on the pod, that would just be like incredible. And someone said, "Can you tell us more about your book?" So I literally have had this in the making. It's honestly, I say it's been a long time. For a normal book, it takes like a year, but for us, it literally took us 3 months because we wanted to get it out as soon as possible for you guys. So I had meetings in November. I started having my ghostwriting sessions in December. Yeah. So I had my ghostwriting sessions in December and they finished in February. So it was literally 3 months. I had probably like at least like 25 hours of calls just talking about my life to my amazing ghostwriter, Emma. I wouldn't have ever had this book without her. She's incredible. But yeah, so we started writing the book and people were always asking like, what is the book? What is it about? What have you got to say? You're 16. It's not so much like just my life story. I think it's just somewhere that people could read to kind of gain a little bit more understanding of who I am, but also like what I love. And like I talk a lot about social media in there for people that want to learn how to get involved in social media. They want tips and tricks. There's a lot of just like teenage helpline basically for you guys to kind of be able to read and see things that's going on in my life and products I recommend and everything basically. But I thought the book was just an amazing way because it's something you can always have. You can hold it. Like, that's just so cool to me. And the other day, I was in the airport with my family and we was like, my book's going to be in here. Like, that's just so crazy to me. So it's just something that you guys can have accessible pretty much any shop. It's going to be super, super fun to have actually a tour come out with it as well. Like, I'm going to do a book signing and actually get to meet you guys. Like, that's going to be so exciting. So you can catch me in your local town for once because I won't be in London every single day of the week doing my meet and greets anymore. I'm branching out. But yeah, no, so like there's book signings going to happen. And I just think it's something that I've always wanted to do. Obviously, I understand I have problems with like dyslexia and things like that. So it's just it's helped me so much more having Emma to kind of help me with the ghostwriting, but make sure that this book is exactly how I'd want it to be. And if you're not a reader and you just want to listen to it, then you can also listen to the book. That will be available too, but you can pre-order it now. But yeah, a little plug for the book because it is a major, major achievement of mine and I'm so, so grateful that I even had the opportunity. So yeah, that's about the book. And the book literally comes out next month, so you can get it from July 18th. I definitely think it would be worth a read, so you can go get it next month. July 18th. See you there. Do you have any advice for someone struggling with their skin? Honestly, I feel like you are in a bubble where you think everyone is judging you for your skin and no one is judging you for your skin. The amount of times I used to go to school and be like, oh, everyone's definitely looking at my spot right now. No one cares about your spot. Everyone's got so much awareness of their own bodies that we're not even looking at other people's or like looking at their face or anything. Like, we're not looking at other people, we're looking at our own self and judging ourselves way too much, which we shouldn't do. So if I could say anything, it's honestly like, yeah, your skin is going to break out. Like, you're going through hormones, you're changing, like it happens all the time. And like, we're changing everything every single day basically. So you have to realize and kind of accept the fact that your skin is going to change and you are going to go through acne and you're going to have clear skin days. Products necessarily can work, but also I do think with my skin, it was very hormonal. So do I think the products probably helped that? No, it was probably more just my skin being a flare up. But definitely think like you should just not be ashamed that you have bad skin. Everyone has bad skin in their life. Like, it's proven. And you shouldn't be insecure about it because it's a spot. It's pretty. It's fine. Someone said, what are your favourite affordable makeup products? So for me, I literally am obsessed with this tinted serum. It's lasted me since October. So it's lasted me a long time. And it's the plumping serum from Maybelline. I don't know the exact price. I know it's obviously still pricey, but it's like a cheaper alternative for a lot more skin tints that I've used. And by far the best one I've ever used in my life. Even today I got my makeup done by my MUA and she was like, whips it out of her bag. I was like, oh my God, we all are using it. It's so good. So I definitely recommend that. It's like the Super Stay Plumping Serum Maybelline. You probably see it on one of my Get Ready With Me's. But I love that product. I'm also really liking like the NYX NYX. I think it's so good. And they've got this jumbo pen and it's like a highlighter stick. So nice for like inner corner highlight on your nose. It just makes you look popped and glowy. And one other thing that I would say is something that also high-end MUAs do use, which is a Nivea soft cream. You can get it in Tesco, Boots, anywhere you go. Everywhere has it. It's like this one product that it's like Vaseline. You just see it everywhere. And it's probably like £1. And it's this moisturiser. I swear by it. I'm telling you now, it's the only thing that keeps my makeup on all day and doesn't budge. And it's the nicest moisturiser ever. So if you want to get something super, super cheap, then the Nivea soft cream is so good and so, so worth it. I love it. But yeah, no. So I changed my skincare routine recently to now I use a Dermalogica cleanser. It's called Clear Start. I realised it's a lot more cheaper in Boots. So get it in Boots. And then I use the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum on my skin. It just makes it feel so hydrated and it clears all acne scars because niacinamide is so good for that. And zinc is in it as well, which is also a really good product if you struggle with your acne scars. I always feel like I just used to pop my skin all the time. And obviously it's not good to pop your spots because that causes scarring. So that's why you should definitely invest in this niacinamide serum. And then I'll go in with a moisturiser. I just use the Dermalogica one or the Glow Recipe one. I kind of just switch. I feel like moisturisers aren't that big of the deal for me. I just use whatever I've got there. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Someone said, where do you get your fashion inspiration from and where do you shop? So I literally just love PLT. Like I get all my clothes from there all the time. I think they're super, super affordable, super comfortable. And yeah, they're just like perfect clothes that you can always wear. There's different occasion wear for any single occasion you can think of. Like I think if you click onto like the occasions, it gives you like graduation, party, this, that, brunch. Like you can literally click on that and find so many different outfits you can wear for them. So I think they're just an amazing company and I always shop from them. And someone that I get such good inspiration from is Lily Rowland. I love Lily so much. I've been friends with her since I was like 13 now. And her style is just getting better and better by the day. She's incredible. And I honestly can't lie, I copy so many of her outfits. I think she's got the nicest style I've ever seen. So if you want a bit of style inspo, Lily Rowland, guys, get onto her. And also like just search on TikTok and just like find outfits. Like I always just put in like, if I'm going for a meal, I'll put like good meal outfits on TikTok and it comes up with so many. So you should definitely look into it. Someone said, can you tell us about your experience of being bullied? There was a lot of different like scenarios and people that got involved. And I just think really for me, like I still to this day don't understand why people felt the need to just pick on me like constantly. It started in, I would say year 8. I got quite badly bullied in year 8. And then I think the worst of it was in year 9 by a specific girl at my school. She was awful. So there was a lot of bad problems that happened at school. And I think now I'm out of it. I'm so, so glad. But bullying did definitely make me a bit thicker skinned and like I can take a lot more now. But no one should ever have to get bullied to know like they can be stronger on the outside. But yeah, no, I had a quite bad experience throughout secondary school, but I just think, to be honest, like now looking back at it, like it is so pathetic. And like some of the things that people would say, like I don't know why I even got offended by it because some of it was literally just a compliment by the end of it. So yeah, it was definitely a weird time. I didn't enjoy it at all. But I do think like I didn't get really bullied in like year 10 and 11. I kind of just stayed out of all the drama as much as I could because no matter how hard you tried to stay out of drama at my school, you would always get brought into drama. It was like an ongoing problem. But yeah, for me, like the bad bullying ended when this girl got kicked out of my school. But yeah, no, it was not a good time. And I really would never, ever, ever recommend you ever pick on someone because you never know what they're going through. And that is something that I've learned growing up is like when they do them things to me, sometimes I'd be having a really good day and it wouldn't affect me. And then some days everything could be going wrong. And then they could say something and it could just literally turn everything around. So I definitely wouldn't ever, ever, ever recommend you even just commenting on a video being horrible to someone because you never know what they're going through. Someone said, how should I deal with bullying? So for me, obviously like bullying can be on such a different level. And I do think people take the word bullying way too much. Like the amount of times I see people say like, bullying when it wasn't even bullying. Like a one-time argument with two people, you can't consider bullying. Bullying is something that happens repetitively, constantly by individuals doing it to other individuals. Like it's not such a thing as like, oh, yeah, she bullied him. Like, no, if you just had a go at someone, like, that's not bullying. So for me, what I'd kind of say is like, make sure you talk to someone. If you feel uncomfortable talking to parents about it, I completely understand, because at the beginning, I just felt like my feelings were getting so hurt, but also I didn't want my parents to like have a go at me or think it was me doing anything wrong. So at the beginning, I probably went to my sisters. I feel like I always went to my sisters with a lot of stuff. So definitely talking to people. If you can't talk to your family and you're at school or college or even work, like there is someone that can help you. And even just venting to someone, like if it's your friend, like get it off your chest, because it's definitely better out than in. People should be aware of it and make sure that you're kind of getting the help that you need. I feel like my school was, I said this on the podcast with my mum. I personally didn't think the school helped me that much, but my mum would disagree and say that they did. Only when my mum would go in though. Like if I went to the school and something bad had just happened, they'd kind of like say like, oh, you can sit in this room, but they wouldn't sort out the people that was doing it. More than when my parents went in, they definitely took it more seriously. So yeah, the school definitely take it more serious when you've got an elder person coming in to talk to the school about it. So I definitely recommend getting someone to help you out and coming in if it does get to that point and you're at school. If it's online bullying, then there is only so much that you can do, because personally, mine was online, but it was also face to face. So it was kind of like hard to help you with both. But I would definitely say just like speak to someone again, block them on everything. As much as I know sometimes like it can be like, oh no, actually I want them to see. Just literally get them off everything. You don't want them to have you on anything. If you see a new account be created, block them again. Like there's no problem in blocking people. That is what the block button's there for. Block them. But yeah, definitely speak up. And there is so many like mental health like hotlines that you can go to if you need some help and you want to talk to someone. So I definitely say like you can search up like different places to talk and speak about how you're feeling. What advice do you have for someone struggling with school? School, honestly, like when I was in school, I was like, I'm never going to get out of this. Like I'm so down all the time. I don't even want to be here. And I really, really struggled, not only with like the people, because towards the end, I didn't even struggle with the people. It was just the pressure of like having GCSEs thrown in your face every single second of the day. But honestly, it goes so quick. Like this year, I've nearly not been in school for a whole year now. And honestly, it still feels like 2 weeks ago I left. And I've been doing this for 2 weeks. Like it has gone so, so quick. And if I could recommend anything, it's just put your head down and get through it. Like you can do it. I was actually that one person that was like, Mum, I'm not going to be able to do it. I want to leave. We looked at different schools. We looked at online, like homeschooling. But for me, I just said like, it's best I'm in for the last year. So I went in and I put my head down, and honestly, I got through it so quickly. So I definitely recommend, if you guys are struggling with school, to make sure that you speak up. But also, like, if it is just like exam revision, take a break. Like, as much as I know your parents and your peers or whoever's going to be on your case, everyone needs a mental health day. Have a day off. Run a bath, do a face mask, do your nails. Just do anything that makes you feel good about yourself. And I feel like sometimes that is really, really needed, just to kind of have that break and be like, okay, I'm going to go back to it now with a better mindset towards it. And if your school offers it, then like even just like go in after school and just sit with a teacher, because so many of my teachers offered it and I never realised until like too late. But like you could sit after school in classes and the teachers will like go through work with you. And at the time I was like, hell no, I'm not going into school. I want to go home. But it did really, really help for the last few weeks of school. So I definitely would recommend. Someone said, any advice for dealing with fake friends? One thing that I would say is, if your friendship is one-sided, if you're feeling like they have been doing things behind your back that aren't friendly things to do, like if they're talking about you and things like that, distance yourself. You don't have to make a scene out of it. And so many of my friendships, like we get irrational with each other. We start arguing, then we fall out. Like nowadays, the only people that I've drifted from is literally just been like mutual. We've just like drifted. Like there's been no bad blood. And honestly, it makes such a difference. Like it makes your life so much stress-free. So much just doesn't need to be said. So I definitely would say, like, if you're dealing with fake friends, it can be hard, but I'd rather have no friends than fake ones. So if that was me, and from what I've done in the past, take yourself away, take a step back. Don't put as much effort in. They will realise, they will then stop putting effort in, or if they're being fake, they're not your friends anyways. But I definitely would say, like, just take yourself away from them because they're obviously not good friends and they're not good for you. So I'd say drift. Don't text them as much. If you're at school with them, maybe, I don't know, say you're going to go in the classroom for a bit longer, or go find other friends to sit with for a bit. Like, don't just cut them off, but do it in a polite manner. And I don't think there's a problem with that. Someone asked, do you have a boyfriend? So, no, I'm actually currently single. For now. No, I'm joking. I actually want to be single for a while now. I actually said this in a Q&A on my YouTube in like November, and then obviously I announced that I was seeing someone for a very short period of time. But I just think it was like random, like it just kind of erupted that I was going to be in a relationship. I didn't actually expect to get into one. It was kind of random. But for now, I'm happy single. I've got so much going on, and I feel like it's definitely difficult for me to commit to someone when I've got so much going on, not in like a loyal way, but like in a I haven't got the time way. Someone said, what have you got coming up? So I have got quite a few cool things. I think definitely with like companies, my goal of this year was to like build more of a relationship with them. Taylor Swift concert, yay. It's nearly my birthday. I'm going to get a car. So excited. By the time this actually comes out, I might even have a car because I'm looking at the moment and this is like way before my birthday. But I'm going to hopefully manifesting past first time on everything. I probably won't because I'm not that kind of girl. But no, I'm really, really excited. So obviously I'm turning 17 this year. Means I can drive. And yeah, no, I've just got so many exciting things coming up with work. I think all of the big announcements have been announced recently, but there's definitely things in the pipelines, new edits, new collections. Just watch out. You'll love it. But that is the end of the questions. But I have got one more thing, and that is, what is my own private story? It feels so weird saying that because like normally I'm asking someone. I'm so confused. I don't know what my private story is. I asked all my family and they all said, you're boring, that's why. But I think obviously they're just joking. No, okay, I can't do any of the ones my family have said either. Right, I'm just going to give you a story time of how I slipped a disc in my back. If you want to know what a disc is, search it up because I don't even know myself. All I know it's dangerous. So I had a dance show. It was like our end of year performance and I was like 10. I'd just been told I had scoliosis like the month before. So I was like, great, got a little curve in my spine. If you don't know what scoliosis is, it's a curvature in the spine. My dad's really, really struggled with his back his whole life. His dad was actually paralysed from when my dad was 9. And then my dad's also really, really struggled with his back. So it's kind of like genetics in our family. But I didn't think I'd get it. So I got scoliosis and I was like, yay. Great. And then, yeah, the month after I had a dance show, I was doing backflips, I was doing back handsprings, walkovers, you name it, spinning on the floor in a ball whilst I put my legs over my head. I was an acrobat, right? Loved acro, was my thing. Had my show, did all of these backflips. At the end of the night, we were all having a little boogie. Michael Jackson's on, who knows what was on yet. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do a cartwheel. Everyone's backflipping. I was like, I'll just do a cartwheel because I'm in pain anyways because like I've been dancing all day. I did a cartwheel and collapsed on the floor. And everyone was looking at me like, what has she just done? I started squealing like it was mad pain. And I just felt something like let go of my back. Like it felt like my back had just gave way and like completely popped out. So I knew straight away it had to be something to do with my disc. And then my dad had to carry me home. I was bedbound for like a week. I had many MRIs. I had many x-rays. And they figured out that I'd actually had a bulging disc and then it slipped. So I have a slip disc in my back, which not many people know about because I don't really talk about it. But yeah, I've got very, very bad back problems. And that is one of the private stories that I don't think many people know about me. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Amy Charlize's private story. I know it's a very different one than normal, but I've really enjoyed just getting to get you guys to know me a little bit more because I feel like there's so much that I want to say and I'm held back from saying. So here's an episode. Let me know if you ever want to hear another solo ep. We can go into more detail about different things too. But you guys can actually subscribe to the show on YouTube or follow us on Spotify or your podcast app of choice. You can also like, comment and leave a review down below. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram. You can DM me your questions, problems, dilemmas, whatever you want, and we'll go through them every single week with another guest or maybe even myself like today. But yeah, you can do that on Instagram at Amy Charlize's private story. And you can also follow me on TikTok and Snapchat, which is the same usernames. Thank you for listening to this, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye.